Hey friends, Nick Norton here. On today's video in our series on learning Pro Tools from scratch is about using an effect called delay. Yesterday's video, well, it was yesterday for me, or a couple days ago, or something, was about using plugins, particularly EQ, and we are going to be using delay as a plugin today. So, what is a delay? A delay is a bit like an echo. You know, sound bounces off a wall and comes back, and you hear it again a bit quieter and a bit later. But with delay, the original signal that we delay in time, so if it plays here where my mouse is, maybe it plays again here and again here, gets fed back in. So it repeats a few times, and we're going to have control over all of this. I think it's going to be pretty easy to understand once you hear it in action. So I have here just singled out a single snare drum hit. And we are going to pull up a delay plugin. I'm going to use the one that is built into Pro Tools, which is called, what is it called? Mod Delay 3. You might notice that it says mono or mono to stereo. Both are kind of cool. We're going to use mono to start. And here it opens up. And without doing anything at all, except maybe turning up the delay time a little so it's more obvious, let's listen to what this is doing. Did you notice that you saw the drum hit go by and then you heard it? Here, I'm going to make that really obvious. You're not going to hear the drum for 2 seconds. Or here, you're not going to hear the drum for 4 seconds or 4,000 milliseconds. Remember, a millisecond is 1,000th of a second, just like a millimeter is 1,000th of a meter. Now, that is potentially not all that helpful. So what we want to look at before we look at the delay effect itself is a control that virtually every effect has in one way or another, which is the mix control or the wet-dry control. Wet is the affected sound, and dry is the original sound. So if I pull this back to 50%, it means the affected sound is going to be equally loud to the original sound. So half dry, half wet. Let's listen to that. Let's put a shorter delay so we don't have to wait as long. Here's a 868 millisecond delay. And maybe we even want to bring it up a little. Yeah, sure. I'm going to clip gain it up by... you can click this little guy right here and pull it up. Let's just add like 3 dB. Oops, sorry, that's looping. Let's turn off looping so we don't screw ourselves up here. You can press Command-Shift-L, or you can right-click on the little play button right here to turn loop playback on and off, whether that's unchecked. So let's uncheck it. It'll loop whatever is selected. And this time... So we heard the original sound, and then we heard the delayed version of it. Now, we only heard the delayed version once. That is because the feedback is at 0%. The feedback is the amount of affected signal that gets sent back through the exact same effect. So if we have this at 100%, it's just going to keep repeating forever. Oh, see, I stopped playing and it keeps going because plugins are always processing. Let's take this down and hear it fade out. If some delay plugins will have more than 100%, and you can get kind of cool effects like that of like delays starting to oscillate and make pitches and stuff. That's kind of imitating the way tape machine delays work. So I recommend playing with that. But maybe turning down your speakers a little before you do, because it does occasionally run away and blow out your ears. So let's put the feedback somewhere normal, I don't know, 50%. Let's make the delay even a little shorter so we don't have to wait so long to hear what's happening. And here's a delay on a snare drum. Now, you'll notice this is measured in milliseconds, but we have this other control for sync down below. So if, let me bring our click track back here and activate it. And if we wanted to sync up a delay to the click, for instance, here, let's put it on eighth note triplets. That's nice. We can just click down here and it adjusts the milliseconds based on what your session's tempo is set at, which we can see at the beginning of the tempo track, or if we come up here and show MIDI controls, it shows it. Let's check that out with the click on. Start it a little earlier so you can hear the click. Here, if we just set it to straight eighth notes. So if you wanted synced delays, that's how you would do that. I'm now, let's see, did we cover everything important? Yeah, the big three controls on any delay are the delay time. I don't know if I said that up front or not, but that's how long it is until the repeat comes. The feedback is how loud the repeats are and how long they repeat for. And the wet-dry mix is whether it's all effect or all original signal. Now, you can get into some pretty cool stuff when you start using stereo delays. So I'm going to get rid of this delay we were using and pull up the exact same plugin in mono to stereo mode. And let's just, I don't know, let's find a cool preset. Remember, under presets here, you can find some cool starting places to experiment with stuff. Do we have a ping pong? I like ping pong delays. You know what? I'm just going to do it manually. Okay, so all I'm going to do is, if you click link, it makes the two sides the same. We're going to unlink them. And on one side, I'm going to put eighth notes. And on the other side, I'm going to put dotted eighth notes. Yeah, let's see what that sounds like. And let's pull this back so we hear the original sound and then the delayed sound with it. And is that good enough? Yeah, it's probably good enough as an interesting starting point. Oh, we need more feedback. So you get the dotted eighth against eighth polyrhythm like that. We can hear, here's a dotted eighth against a triplet 16th. That was kind of cool. Let's turn up the feedback so this side lasts a little longer. You can see how you can get pretty creative with this effect pretty quickly. It is usually used on lead vocals, and definitely guitarists use it a lot, and synthesizers use it a lot, especially like arpeggiated synthesizers to make a signal sound way more 3D. I have pulled up a kind of rock guitar sounding solo here. That's fine, but let's make it more interesting. For lack of a more complicated term, let's use the basic one again. And I think I don't know, medium. That's a good starting place. Let's unlink it though. Actually, no, I totally don't want to do that. Let's do locked groove. Nah. All right, we're just gonna do it ourselves again. Let's put a dotted eighth on one side and a quarter on the other. And I'm kind of messing around with this so that you get the idea that experimenting is really important. And I'm gonna make the original sound a little louder than the delay, so the delay really feels like it's supporting the original sound as opposed to distracting you from it. And let's see what happens. That's way more subtle than I wanted it to be. Let's bring that up. Now that doesn't sound all that like wild and out of this world and stuff like that, but check out the comparison to the original when I bypass this. So yeah, there's plenty of experimenting to be done to learn what you like and what you don't like and what works and what doesn't work. There are a gazillion delay plugins in the world. I don't know. Let's find a cool one. This thing's pretty wild. From Arturia, it usually takes a second to open. There it is. Delay Eternity. It comes with a bunch of presets I like, and again, those are a good way to start going. Let's see what ooh, Eternity. Okay, that's the name of the plugin. Let's see what that does. Ooh, there's some pitch shifting going on in there. That's neat. That's honestly probably all you need. Triplet wah. Okay, whatever. Yeah, so experiment away, play with delays. They're a great effect. Have a good one.